Let's start with a question we don't ask enough. What if the systems we use to protect physical safety could also protect mental health? For too long, these two priorities have existed in separate worlds. We've had the hard data, incident rates, near misses, hazard reports, and then we've had the soft stuff, how workers feel, what they're carrying, the stress they don't show. But the future of workplace safety demands we bring these two worlds together. Because mental health is not a bonus concern, it's a risk factor, and it's a safety issue. In this final episode of The Future is Safe, we're connecting the dots between safety systems and mental well-being. It's not just about adding wellness posters to break rooms. It's about how the very tools we've explored, wearables, mobile apps, real-time data, integrated platforms, can help us recognize, respond to, and even prevent the psychological strain that impacts worker performance, judgment, and ultimately survival. Let's start on the ground. Fatigue is one of the clearest examples of where mental and physical risk overlap. A tired mind makes dangerous decisions, delayed reactions, missed signals, poor judgment, but fatigue isn't always visible. This is where wearables come in. Devices that monitor heart rate variability, microsleeps, or subtle movement patterns can offer early indicators that a worker may be dangerously fatigued. And when this data is integrated into a centralized system, supervisors can respond in real time, rotate duties, offer rest, delay high-risk tasks. It's not about surveillance, it's about intervention. Now imagine coupling that with digital daily check-ins, mobile apps that ask workers how they're feeling, not just physically, but emotionally. Quick, anonymous questions. Are you feeling stressed? Are you distracted today? Do you feel equipped to do your job safely? When this data is gathered across teams, it creates a heat map of psychological readiness. If a department's scores dip for 3 days straight, that's a flag, a reason to check in before something goes wrong. In Australia, one logistics firm integrated this approach after a spike in minor incidents. They added a daily readiness survey to their mobile safety app. Over the next quarter, they didn't just reduce incidents, they improved attendance and morale. Why? Because workers felt seen. Because they were being asked the right questions. Real-time monitoring systems are doing more than tracking gas leaks and noise levels. Some are now tuned into environmental conditions that directly affect mental wellness, like extreme heat, poor lighting, or high decibel noise. Prolonged exposure to these elements contributes not only to physical strain, but also to psychological fatigue and irritability. When alerts are triggered not just for physical limits but for environmental stress thresholds, the message is clear. This company cares about more than compliance. And then there's the role of storytelling. Integrated platforms can now capture and share micro moments, near misses, lessons learned, mental health wins. One worker speaks up about needing a break, another shares how they caught a mistake because they were finally feeling rested. These stories, logged and circulated, normalize the conversation around mental health and safety. They show that looking out for one another isn't a soft skill, it's core to the job. Some organizations are even linking mental wellness to certifications. For example, a construction firm in the UK added a mental health module to their mandatory safety onboarding. Completion rates soared once the module was made mobile first. New hires were trained not just in fall protection and lockout procedures, but in recognizing the signs of burnout in themselves and their coworkers. We also have to talk about trauma. Incidents can leave invisible scars, whether it's witnessing an injury, responding to a fatality, or enduring prolonged high-risk work. These experiences don't end when the shift does. Advanced platforms now allow for automated post-incident wellness checks. Within 24 hours of an event, affected workers receive private prompts. Would you like to speak to someone? Do you need support returning to this site? It removes the stigma of asking. It turns silence into support. Some are going further. Data is being used to identify psychological hazards, chronic overwork, undersupport, high-pressure environments. Safety tech is helping create psychosocial safety climate metrics, standardized ways of measuring how psychologically safe a workplace truly is. Are workers comfortable reporting concerns? Do they trust leadership? Are workloads reasonable? When answers show trends of risk, the system doesn't wait for burnout. It prompts leaders to act. All of this points to one truth. Safety isn't just about bodies, it's about minds. And the systems we build reflect our priorities. A platform that lets you log hazards but not stress, that's an incomplete picture. A wearable that monitors impact but not exhaustion, that's only half the story. A culture that trains for physical risk but ignores emotional strain, that's a gap wide enough to fall through. The future of safety is not just smart, it's human. The best systems, the ones we've explored across this entire series, are not just lines of code or dashboards, they're bridges. They connect people to support. They surface signals before they become symptoms. They turn isolation into information and information into action. This series has been about what's possible, but what's next is up to you. Because safety isn't static, and neither is health. We all bring our minds to work. We all carry invisible loads, and when our systems are designed to see, support, and strengthen the whole person, we don't just build safer workplaces. We build workplaces that heal. Thanks for joining us on this journey through The Future is Safe.